In late 2018, near Fort Texas, a company sold Visive technology and built an extraordinary tower with grid-like supports and a half-spherical top resembling the famous Nikola Tesla Tower. However, the resemblance wasn't only in its structure. Collaborating with Baylor University, the company aimed to establish an electricity grid without cables, poles, or transformer stations. This technology could provide electricity to 1.5 billion people living in areas with inadequate infrastructure. What scientists worked on was based on xenic waves, which are 3 times faster than Bluetooth and other energy transfer types. These waves are resistant to solar flares, lightning, or electromagnetic pulses. Yet, Nikola Tesla could have done this 120 years ago. Of course, not all of the genius's inventions were this innocent. In fact, some of Tesla's inventions could have ended the world. Throughout his life, Nikola Tesla patented over 300 inventions in 26 countries worldwide, and it's believed he had nearly 1,000 unknown works. His revolutionary ideas were so ahead of their time that people didn't believe him. In a 1926 interview published in Collier's magazine, Tesla likened the world's future to a great mind. He believed that people, no matter how far apart, would communicate instantly, and the devices enabling this would be portable. Tesla foresaw the internet, mobile phones, and Wi-Fi technologies long in advance. Moreover, the scientist was almost certain that all railways would be electrified and homes would become automatic. On the other hand, Tesla had ideas that still seem impossible today, like flying cars and park towers. Yet, reaching this technology took humanity almost a century. Only in the 21st century did news about these kinds of cars begin to emerge. In 2022, a California-based venture, Nanotechnology, announced the development of the Alev Model A, a flying car prototype powered by an electric unit using 8 propellers. This battery-operated car took off vertically, had an autopilot system to avoid obstacles, and was equipped with a giant parachute for safety. Its speed on the ground exceeded 300 km per hour, and in the air, it was nearly 180 km per hour. This amazing vehicle is still undergoing some tests today, and the company states they won't start mass production until 2025. We should mention Tesla's extremely intriguing ideas about photography. In his time, photography was just emerging. For instance, Kodak cameras were first introduced to the public in 1988. Yet, Tesla was obsessed with technology that could take photographs of the human mind. He even mentioned in the early 1930s inventions that could photograph thoughts. Since 1893, Nikola Tesla believed that a particular mental image produced a visual on the retina and was conducting research on a machine that could read these images, naming this technology artificial retina. Furthermore, in the late 19th century, the widespread use of radio waves inspired him to create a thought device. He even believed that, like the spread of test waves over the phone, human brain waves could be broadcast through special transmitters. Sounds logical, right? Today, researchers are trying to find a way to bring this concept to life. For example, in 2023, a neurobiologist team from the USA, Singapore, and Hong Kong taught artificial intelligence a system to scan the brain and read thoughts. During the experiment, researchers examined the images in the MRT scanner and observed changes in blood flow. Furthermore, experiments have shown that artificial intelligence can produce images that match 84% with visuals in the human brain. Perhaps scientists may soon invent a thought machine. This could prove that Tesla's ideas are not impossible. However, the genius also had some extremely terrifying ideas, so much so that other scientists did not even want to take the risk of implementing them. Nikola Tesla began working on high-frequency and high-voltage electric currents in 1889. Tesla discovered that electric frequency over 700 Hz flowed over the surface of the body without damaging tissues. These experiments led the inventor to an unusual method of disinfection, the effect of the current on the skin showed that it was possible to improve the skin, cleanse the pores, and kill microbes. This method was called cold fire. Tesla proposed that humanity could clean in this way instead of soap and water. The scientist believed that electricity was not only more efficient than traditional hygiene methods, but it also provided a significant energy boost. For example, in one experiment, a person standing on a metal plate was exposed to 2.5 million volts of alternating current. From the outside, the man looked like he was engulfed in flames. However, this invention never received funding. Today, this technology is commonly used in electrotherapy. As previously mentioned, not all of Tesla's inventions were intended for peaceful purposes. In 1898 at the Medicine Electric Fair, the engineer introduced a remote-controlled submarine. The small ship, about 1 meter in length and height, had small antennas and moved by itself around the pool. It was equipped with a battery, radio modules, and electric motors. The inventor also created a device to control the boat. Tesla called this remote control concept teleautomatic. This demonstration mesmerized the audience. In a subsequent interview, Tesla claimed that torpedoes loaded with such submarines could be launched safely, secretly float in mined waters, and attack an enemy and then return. The inventor believed that similar machines could provide a critical advantage in war and save people's lives. However, the army concluded that it would be impossible to control such a ship in war and was not interested in Tesla's invention. Today, drones have become a part of our lives. For example, in May 2023, the most important feature of the revolutionary 600 robots underwater drone was its AI-supported software. With this, it could track and neutralize explosives from a great distance. In fact, most of Tesla's inventions remained on paper. But maybe that's better for all of us because there is a lot of evidence that the scientist worked on secret deadly weapons. On June 13, 1908, a remote area of Siberia was shaken by a tremendous explosion, and its power was estimated to be equivalent to over 20 megatons of TNT. Eyewitnesses initially reported that a second sun appeared in the sky and exploded terribly. The shockwaves enveloped the world and were detected by all meteorological observatories worldwide. The explosion, with a radius of 100 meters, affected an area of 2,000 kilometers and destroyed over 80 million trees. It was even reported to be heard 800 kilometers away from the epicenter. People in the area felt the tremors and heard deafening sounds. This explosion was 1,885 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Such that seismic tremors were even felt in England. In the subsequent days, the northern hemisphere's sky was filled with bright silver clouds, causing day and night to blend into one another. Today, there are many theories suggesting this explosion was related to Nikola Tesla. According to some, similar events occurred during the famous inventor's experiments. Throughout his life, Tesla was obsessed with the idea of wireless electric transmission. In 1898, he began planning the Wardenclyffe Tower. However, 3 years later, due to funding issues, the project was cancelled and never completed. Yet, some believe Tesla continued experiments there until 1908. Rumor has it, in an interview with the New York Times, he mentioned that experimental wireless transmission units could destroy any part of the world. This suggests that the Tunguska event might have been a result of Tesla's experiments. In fact, there's another story related to this matter. According to this tale, the scientist carried out his last experiment in the Philadelphia experiment on October 28, 1943. The USS Eldridge, located at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, reportedly vanished and was seen approximately 360 kilometers away in Norfolk. It then reappeared at its starting point 30 minutes later. This unexpected event resulted in the death of 160 crew members. 27 sailors were seemingly fused into the ship's structure, and 13 others lost their lives due to radiation and electric shock. However, such a teleportation experiment was never repeated, and there's no evidence today to prove this event truly happened. The sole source of information regarding this experiment is a former sailor named Carl Allen, who claimed to have witnessed it. Yet, there's a hypothesis suggesting that from 1936 to 1942, this man was responsible for Nikola Tesla's Rainbow Project. This program was aimed at developing geometric shapes and radiation-absorbing materials that could reduce a machine's radar signature. It was a top-secret project, intended to change the course of World War II. The experiment involving the disappearance of the ship required altering the electromagnetic field around an object, creating an electromagnetic bubble that could disable radars. With his famous coils and secret unit, Tesla created a strong electromagnetic field around this ship. A special generator made teleportation possible. Witnesses of the experiment claimed that after the ship became invisible, it shone in a green color. The scientist worked on this project for years, but the actual experiment took place after his death. Of course, all of these are mere speculations. Both the Tunguska event and the Philadelphia experiment are filled with conspiracy theories, making it challenging to prove Tesla's role in these events. However, we also have real evidence that the scientist developed lethal weapons. Nikola Tesla conducted over 1,000 studies, and some of them had the capacity to be used to increase military power. Some of his inventions were so dangerous that he could even kill himself during experiments. By 1893, Tesla patented the electromechanical oscillator. The device weighed only 1 kilogram, but the inventor adjusted its frequency in such a way that even the slightest vibration could cause significant resonance in surrounding objects. Considering enough small oscillations, this device could shake or even destroy a large structure. Tesla continued to develop his invention until 1898, but today not a single one remains. According to a story, Tesla, working in his New York laboratory on Houston Street, heard a faint, low-frequency hum from outside. The building walls vibrated, and the windows began to shatter. The incident quickly spread to nearby streets, and terrified people ran out of their homes. The inventor was sure that when the device accelerated, it could split the world in two. When he realized the danger, he destroyed the generator with a sledgehammer and did not talk about the project for a long time. However, Tesla did not stop working on lethal weapons. He moved from artificial earthquakes to man-made tsunamis, and in 1907, the New York World introduced Tesla's new military invention. It was a remote-controlled device capable of creating massive tidal waves to easily sink entire enemy fleets. These artificial tsunamis aimed to render warships useless. Tesla also believed he could control the planet's atmosphere. The scientist believed that by using specific radio waves, the Earth's magnetic field in the ionosphere could be manipulated, thus controlling the wind and consequently the weather. Tesla took many patents for these ideas and proved their reality. In fact, the idea of controlling the weather might seem harmless, but in the hands of the military, such a discovery could turn into a weapon of mass destruction. Now it's believed that this is actively being developed. However, according to theory, this technology is used secretly. This is because experiments on this subject were banned at a UN meeting in 1977. But Tesla's most dangerous weapons were not these. On July 11, 1934, the New York Sun and the New York Times talked about the scientist's latest discovery. Tesla claimed humanity was on the brink of another world war, and the only way to avoid it was to create a powerful, destructive, and deterrent weapon. The prototype was named Teleforce. Essentially, it was a projector that contained charged tungsten particles flowing through a tube by electrostatic repulsion. With the aid of high voltage and a boosting transmitter, the particles accelerated. According to Tesla's design, the particle flow had to go 48 times faster than the speed of sound. This meant it needed to send energy clusters with immense power, capable of grounding a fleet from 300 kilometers away. The press named this invention both the peace ray and the death ray. Tesla insisted that teleforce was not just a theoretical idea. He claimed to have worked on the project since 1900 and even said he built and tested the device. That same year, he wrote a document detailing a weapon that could reflect intense and undispersed energy in natural environments, working on charged particle rays. The technical details of the super weapon were explained. The plan is now stored in the Nikola Tesla Museum in Belgrade. In fact, Tesla tried to attract the interest of the USA, UK, USSR, and Yugoslavia at that time. He even claimed that there were attempts to steal his works during negotiations. Fortunately, the funds needed to bring the death ray to life were never provided. But if we consider that all the ideas of this genius might be applied today, we cannot say for sure. In 1895, Tesla suggested that magnetic fields could significantly affect and alter the structures of time and space. Rumors suggest he opened a portal with an artificial magnetic field through which he could see the past, present, and future simultaneously. This man spent his entire life trying to open such portals and even inventing a machine to control time. Sounds unbelievable, right? However, remember that we are not sure how true these stories are. What we are sure of is that Nikola Tesla's inventions were way ahead of their time. This means that some seemingly impossible plans might have been realized today. The inventor's entire life was filled with secrets, puzzles, and mysteries. So, what do you think about this? How could Nikola Tesla predict so much about the future? We await your comments. See you in the next video. Goodbye.